Good morning, guys. Happy Sunday. Who's joining me here live? Early birds on a Sunday morning. I got to tell you, if I haven't already told you, that I am feeling awesome. This says something about starting new habits, all right? Because I was a night owl. And now I actually look forward to getting up early in the mornings because it feels so good. I like that feeling. It's a wonderful feeling. So even here on a Sunday, I am showing up live because I love hanging out with you guys. Hey, Brenda. Hey, Valerie. So now here's the question, all right? Because when I was a true full on night owl and I just bask in all the glory of being a night owl, I would go to bed really, really late. Like we're talking, it could be 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, sometimes later. And okay, so when I would get up in the morning, I would not feel like I wanted to nap. And I would hear people talk about taking naps. And I'm like, I'm not a napper. Well, this is day 19. This is 19 days of getting up with you guys, feeling great about it, loving it. You should, do something that makes you feel excited when you get out of bed in the morning, right? This does it for me. So when I get out of bed in the morning now, earlier on to start this chat at 8 a.m. in the morning, I could now start to understand like you're up for a bit. And maybe by the time it gets to maybe what, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that, you're like, yeah, I could sit on the couch, or even mid-morning. I was sitting on the couch mid-morning and I was thinking to myself, you know what? I could let myself go for a little nap right now. And I've never been that person. Are you guys nappers or not? I wasn't. And I haven't been, but I start to feel that feeling that would be nice. Nice part of the day. Hello, Barb. Hey, Jocelyn. Hey, Naomi, Valerie, Michelle, Lisa, Sandy, Jerry, Jacqueline, Maggie's on here. Hello, ladies. You woke up to a lot of snow, Jacqueline? I keep hearing a snowplow go by and just the sound of the crunching underneath the blade of the snow. It is a wonderful feeling. Yesterday we had snow, so it was actually coming, it must have been coming sideways because it was hitting the windows and you could just hear it like just ping, 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 ping off the windows anywhere you went in the house. And I was like, I like this sound, right? Judy says she's a napper. Barb says, I nap now and I never did before. Michelle says, yep, a napper. Early rise makes for a long day. It does. You get a lot of stuff done. And I don't know, it feels good to get a lot of stuff done at the beginning of the day and then look at the time and go, wow, like, how did I get all this time, right? You love the nap too. I might try it today. I'll report back tomorrow, but yeah, I think it's good. And there's something to be said about routine, right? We're going to talk about motivation today. Maybe you nap too much and you need some motivation, okay? I'm going to give you, I wrote down last night, my 10 ways to help me get motivated. So there's coffee, right? But I'm going to talk about 10. I think it's 10 or 11 ways here that I got written down. I go to work at 3 a.m., no time for nap. Gotta paint. Painters gotta paint, right? There you go. So motivation, all right? So I think like to everything, there's a season, and there are times if somebody told you that I am rah, all the time, like I want to paint 24/7, 365 days a year, you will go, if they're honest with you, they will have days and they will tell you that there's just some days you just don't even have the energy to pick up the paintbrush. You get, it could be a part of burnout. We'll talk about that. That's a whole other thing in here, but you just feel burnt out, you're tired and you don't feel motivated anymore. And sometimes it lasts for a day. Sometimes it goes on longer. For some of you guys, you might've had good intentions for 2020 and started off and you're like, I still can't get going. I can't get that snowball going. Like, how do I get that snowball going? Or the motivation to do something for your business every single day, because consistency is the key. And that's how you keep on doing something and it starts to feel right. That's how getting up for me at 7 o'clock in the morning now starts to feel right, because I do it over and over again, even though it felt completely against my grain, right? So it's all good. So here are my ways to motivate yourself in business, because you are not the only one. And there are days as well that I feel the very same way. So number one, ask yourself, oh, Jerry says, I saw Newfoundland, my home island, news as a major snow event in Newfoundland. Yes, I've been talking to my family back home. They're all good, but holy moly. Have you guys been seeing the footage come out of Newfoundland? That's why I say when I moved to Pittsburgh down this way, it's like, this is tropical for me. You have no idea. I'm from an island in the North Atlantic, okay? When I say snow, I mean snow. Can you see it snowing outside right now through that window? Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Chris says for her, motivation is hard to get going after the holidays. Always bad. I know why. I know why. I've got that covered in here. All right. So number one. All right. Can't get motivated. Look at yourself and what is the actual cause if you can't get motivated. Okay. So you got to identify, in order to get motivated, you got to take a hard look, the hard truth, look at the person in the mirror and go, okay. Because the first thing they'll tell you and anything that you're trying to fix is you got to understand that you have a problem, right? Like, what am I doing to myself, right? That was me. That was me. And I wrote down, for example, are you not motivated because you have lack of sleep? Are you pushing it in one area of your life too much? Okay. Do you have to rein it in because you've let it all go out and now you're completely out of whack? Your system is out of whack. Your sleep pattern's out of whack. And you say what you want. I think we as humans, we really like structure, right? And you're just saying maybe yes to too much. So for example, you're tired and you need to change when you go to bed at night, right? That's something that you can control. Too much junk food can also make me feel really out of whack and really lethargic. And then I got to change how I eat and stop eating all bad stuff and like get it back in balance with myself. Another time is when I feel like the actual cause of motivation might be is because I said yes to too much. When you say yes to something, you are saying no to something else. All right. So you're always going to make sure you're taking too much on your plate, because when you take too much on your plate, and if you're always a yes person, it can lead to overwhelm. And then you feel stuck. Like, I don't even know where to start because I got so much. Why did I say yes to this? And then it's hard to get motivated because you just feel like you're climbing a uphill battle. So I want you to think to yourself, what is it something that you can control? Is there something that you let go of in your life that's now impacting your business life because you let it snowball? You let it totally get out of control. But if you just tweak those things, you'd feel better, right, when you're approaching your work. All right. And this kind of leads into number two. Just get moving and just start. You've heard me say before, objects in motion tend to stay in motion. And sometimes when you just start doing something, if that joy is inside of you and you're truly doing what we talked about, like what you love in business, sometimes it's hard to get started, but it's there because you can't hide what's inside, right? And then you pick up the paintbrush and you just start and you're like, I'm just going to go through the motions, not because I want to paint today, but I'm going to grab my paintbrush and I'm going to grab what I need and I'm going to get started. All right. What happens is like, it's almost like you do the motions and then your brain catches up with you and your passion catches up with you. Sometimes it starts to happen in front of you. I've done that so many times, especially if you're somebody who, for example, are booking live shows, and live shows depend on your energy very much so, right? Because it comes across your energy and that can be contagious, or that can zap somebody else to the point where they're like, I don't want to watch this person anymore. It's not fun to watch them, right? And so sometimes when you're booking stuff or you're making plans, and I'm going to be going live, guys, next week on Wednesday, and Wednesday come and you just feel like a lump on a log, do you cancel it? I mean, if you're really, really sick and we're talking like, virus, like something has attacked your immune system, yes, of course, you take time off and you take care of yourself. But I'm talking about motivation, right? I'm talking about, do you just not show up because you just don't feel like it? When you're a business owner, you're a business owner 365 days of the year, regardless of whether you feel like it or not, right? When you own a business, you own a business and you got to own it and you got to show up. And it's when the inconsistency happens that you start to really lose your traction. So that's why it's so important to stay on top. So when I book things that could be, I don't know, sometimes I've done things in collaborations where they said, can we book you for a month out? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. I have no idea how I'm going to feel that day, but we're going to do it. And when I start the camera, I had to have a conversation with myself and go, I know, Sonia, right now that, you booked this to go live at 9 p.m., whatever time you picked. And now the day has arrived and you feel like you really just don't want to even do anything right now. You just want to sit down, but you made a commitment, right? Your word is good. And maybe you made a commitment to your audience. You've put that out there. You show up. And what happens? I know I'll tell myself, I am not in the mood to do this right now, but I am going to start this because I know once I start, somehow something clicks and I feel good. And then what happens? It happens all the time, right? You start something and you're moving a little bit slow, but then the excitement builds. And before you know it, you're like, da, 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 and you're like, oh yeah, all right. You're totally into it, right? It's like sometimes you start something, whether it's beading. I always use any example because this can fill in with anything, whatever business you have. you're just going to sit down and you go, I'll just make one bracelet. And you sit down, before you know it, time has gotten away from you. You started with the intention, maybe just to knock out one because that's all you felt like, but you couldn't help it because once you start, it's like that flame got lit inside of you and then you keep on going. So a lot of times the key is just to get started. If you have to clean your bedroom and there's a load of laundry sitting right there on the floor and you're like, oh, I don't want to clean my bedroom. Pull out one shirt, pull out one towel and start packing it. And then eventually you start the motion and then you put that away and then you go on, you're making your bed. That's what happens, right? You go down to the kitchen, you need to fill the dishwasher and you're like, oh, I got so many dishes on the counter. And you start with one, you do it and you get an emotion, the water warms up, you start moving, you get relaxed. And before you know it, you're like, oh, I'm going to get this done and get this knocked out. The same thing happens in business. So sometimes you have to trick yourself into just getting started. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Chris says that whole 15-minute thing ends up being an hour or more. Yes, exactly, right? Michelle says, something made me struggle out of bed to get to this live. And you know what? You'll feel better for it because objects in motion tend to stay in motion. I know when my alarm goes off in the morning, I said up because I think my mouth hasn't caught up to my brain just yet, right? But I'm training it to in the mornings. And it's not natural for me. But when you get up in the morning, like for me, I know, I said to Matt last night, because I've trained him to be a night owl with me. And I said, I love getting up early in the morning. I'm like, is that crazy? Like I have totally switched where I get excited about a morning now. And I just want to get up and get going. I love the way it makes me feel. And he's like, you are a sick individual. All right. He's probably on here right now for me. And so he's like, yes, I said that to her yesterday. I'm like, no, I'm telling you, like it feels good. Right. And in the morning when the alarm goes off, it doesn't feel good when I'm first waking up. I'm like, remind myself, why am I doing this? Another way you can motivate yourself is reward yourself. Anybody reward yourself when you in business? Have you started doing that? And I mean rewarding yourself because you truly showed up and did the work in your business, right? You set a challenge for yourself and you did something maybe new that you've never done before. You applied yourself on a whole different level. And, you really went all in, right? And remember, on your business, if you're not going to be all in on your business, who's going to be all in on business for you, right? Sandra says, yes, I do the 15-minute trick me thing. And then she gets going. It is so true. Brittany says, for a couple lives is really kind of fun. Okay. It is a lot of fun, right? Talking to your friends. Absolutely. It is awesome. I love showing up and chatting with you guys in the morning. Barb says, I get started early morning and many a day look at the clock and it's after lunch wondering why I'm hungry. It's true. Time flies when you're having fun and you get so much done. You get a lot done. So rewarding yourself. So rewarding yourself can come in different ways. It could be, okay, I am going this week. And I mean, reward yourself for something truly where you went all in. So if I worked really, I didn't really work this week, then you know what? I'm not going to reward myself. But I do. I reward myself personally. I'll tell you something that I collect that I just do on the side and examples of how I use it. So so for example, it could be, I'm going to book myself a massage this month, a 30-minute, $30, $45 massage, because I know that if I work 30 days in business, that at the end of the day, after the end of 30 months, I'm going to earn that, $40, $45 back, whatever it is that you sign up for, right? You can do that because if you're showing up going lives and you are creating products that you're able to collect a monetary exchange of money back for, and you're doing it consistently, at the end of the month, you're going to make money. Like there is no way that you're not. Your numbers will increase, right? But you got to do the work. So it could be like, for example, I am going to reward every few dollars that I take from a sell will go into this can, and that will fund a night away trip at the end of the month for me and my hubby. I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to get a massage. I'm going to treat myself to a meal at a restaurant that I want to go to because I'm going to work hard, make the money, and then reward myself. Hello, I'm in business, so I can create a quality of life that I want, and I want to experience X, Y, Z. Whatever it is for you, right? Go get something for yourself. That's right. Look at it as practice for when all the followers start up. So you have to ask yourself, have I really been going all in? If I've been doing what Sonia's been telling me, this is day 19. If I put all those things into effect, the questions, the invites, the value, the planning, all that sort of stuff, right? Because it all comes together. So one of the things, I'll give you an example that I love to do is I love to collect Pandora beads. And that might not motivate somebody else, but it motivates me because it's the collector inside of me. And so I'll do things like, for example, in the past I've done where, Sonia, I really wanted to have a breakthrough in blogging, like taking time to not just do video every single day, but I want to take the time to do written blogs. And sometimes it can take a lot, right? Like for me, talking and speaking comes easier than sitting down and typing something out. But I want it to do that for my website, for followers that want to watch and have everything all together and just start doing something new in my business. So, you know what I did? I got a calendar, and every day I would do a blog. Vlog is like vlog is like video, and B is like blog. It's a written form. Okay. So there's a difference. And so what I did was I told myself, if you can keep the commitment, Sonia, to blog on your website daily for 30 days, go reward yourself and go get one Pandora bead for your bracelet that you love. All right. That's how I can keep myself motivated. You know, I wish I had my bracelet here. I'd show you. So if you saw the beads that are on there, they all mean something to me, right? And it keeps me motivated. So one of the last ones I got was a little girl robot. Okay. And what do you think that symbolizes? YouTube. It symbolized for me wanting to put in the hard work and doing 30 days straight of content on my vlog, on my other channel, my Sonia Miller Thrift Junk Creative channel. And I knew that if I showed up every day, that's a lot of work. But I knew that after 30 days, I would break myself in to getting into a groove, and it was going to be worth it, right? And so I did that, and I rewarded myself. And it's just something very, very, very small, but it meant a lot to me, right? And you guys have things as well. Maybe there's something that, you know, just something special that you would love for somebody to give to you. Give it to yourself and do the work and reward yourself, right? Because what happens is then you get trained and you get into, you get into patterns, right? Oh, you do yes, you do the Alex Annie. I love those bracelets. Yes, you have 16 and 7 necklaces. So maybe that's your thing, right? Some women collect shoes. I collect Pandora beads, and you have your own thing. But it all goes back to reward yourself. Reward yourself. I'm going to do hard work this month, and then I'm going to reward myself with a massage, right? A lunch. I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to travel, go for a weekend. I'm going to use the money to book a hotel trip because I work, gosh darn it, for 30 days straight. I went above and beyond, and I get to reward myself, right? And when you're the CEO of your own business, you can reward yourself because if you do the work, the money will increase if you're doing it the right way, right? So the next thing, if you're having a hard day, reflect on why you started your business in the beginning. That's always a good one, right? Why did I start this business? I'm not motivated today. You know, why am I even bothering to do this? I know why you're doing this. You know why you're doing this, right? Because you want freedom. You want to live in a different way than you live right now. You don't want to stay stuck where you are right now. It's a little scary knowing that time is flying by. I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like life is flying by. And you've probably heard me say before, this is not no dress rehearsal. I think sometimes we get caught up where we think, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this in life. And, and I want this and I want this. Like, you got to make it happen now because time is flying by. Like, today is the day. The best time to plant the tree is today, to put the seed in the ground if you haven't already put it in there, right? So it will flourish and it will grow and it will prosper because time is going by so fast. And I know you have dreams and I know there's things that you want to accomplish in this life. And there are things that you want to change, like your situation to where you are now. There was a lot of things that I wanted to change. You know, I didn't want to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. I wanted to be able to have flexibility to go back home to Canada whenever I wanted to visit my family. I wanted to be able to have flexibility. So there's stuff I wanted to see while I am alive on this earth that, you know what, me and Matt can go do it. And that we have the freedom to go do it. And I don't have to ask for time off to do it, right? So for me, that freedom is worth showing up in my business because I don't want to be stuck in a room that has no natural light underground building somebody else's dream, because I have a fire inside. And I know that if I apply myself and I shake it off when I need the motivation, that I'm all in on me. So if you reflect on your why, we talked about figuring out your why. One of the very first few days we started this, because that will help help you shake off those days that you just feel like you don't want to do anything. Because when your why, when you are truly in touch with your why, you will get up and you will do it, right? Because the why is bigger. It's worth it. All right, next one. Number 5. You want to get motivation? Talk to your customers. Talk to your customers. If you want to get motivation in business, listen to what your customers say back to you, right? Right now, you guys are throwing up hearts this morning, saying good morning to me. When I show up and if I'm still feeling tired, the energy that your customers can give to you, they remind you why you're doing this, right? When they send you love. And they will send you love in a form of a message that could show up on a screen, like on a live, screenshot it. It could show up in by way of a email that they send to you, just telling you something that, the people that don't always write on the screen, but they will message you and they'll say, you don't even realize it, but I so need this in my life right now. Thank you so much for doing what you do. You have no idea, right? Because people will tell you those things. I know, I get the messages and I love it. I love it because it's amazing to think that you can have an impact on somebody else and you're just doing what you love, right? The other thing is people will send you letters and stuff like that. If you can even create a folder where you put, or on whether it's virtual on your computer or on a folder and you're having a bad day, I'm going to tell you, you pull out those letters that your people will send you. If you need motivation, that should remind you why you do this, okay? That should remind you why you do this for your customers, because they will tell you things that you're just like, wow, like that just make you feel like I got to show up for my friends. Like I got to show up for my people. My people need me. But if you do lack motivation and you wonder why you're doing this, go live. And when you get feedback, and maybe you haven't gotten feedback because you haven't asked for feedback. If I were to say to you guys right now, okay, so I'm going to use this as an example. We're going for 19 days straight. I'm looking at the calendar here on my laptop. And I have no idea if this group was being effective. Am I crazy going live 365 days a year, even on a Sunday, Sonia? Like, are you crazy? Who in the right mind even does that, right? And then if I were to say, well, I knew my why I wanted to do it. But if I had to ask you guys, is this group worth it? So I'm asking for feedback right now. Do you guys love this group? Would you like me to keep it going? Has it made a difference in your life? What kind of difference has it made for you? I'm asking you that right now, and I'm going to read your comments, right? And I'm going to get that feedback back. And this is why I'm saying that when you're having a bad day, you just got to remind yourself what your feedback was, right? And what you're doing to help other people. Because if you're bringing value to the table, your friends, your people, your followers, whatever, your supporters, whatever you want to call them, they will appreciate you, right? So the next thing that you can do, set small goals. Oh, Jerry says she loves the motivation. Thank you very much. I appreciate your feedback. I love this group. Yes, love the people I've met, your great advice. See, that gets me motivated, right? That makes me want to get up in the morning. Set small goals. So sometimes we feel overwhelmed because we have a lot in front of us. It is like the laundry pile that looks like Mount Everest, okay? But it all starts with folding one towel. Towels, if you're lucky, because towels are easier than shirts and dealing with other pants and stuff like that, all right? So small goals for yourself, because you get that feeling of conquering something. So this week, as long as you stay, that's why I say every day, just do something for your business. And it could come in different forms, but just don't stop not doing something for your business, right? Set a goal for yourself this week that you want to accomplish. Maybe you say, I'm going to write my about section for my Instagram or my Facebook. This week, I'm going to teach myself how to do one thing. Every single week, I write things down that I want to get accomplished overall. There's the stuff that you do every day, like the administrative busy stuff that just keeps a business going. But what really moves your business forward is when you take the time out of just getting stuck with doing those little things, to take a bigger scoop out, okay? By doing something that you really need to get done, but you've been leaving that to you're not doing that, or you're leaving it to last and you're really not doing it, right? It could be writing for you your very first blog, or recording something, or going live, not just staying and doing something safe in the comfort zone, right? Every single day, do something, make goals, but set a small goal for yourself. And even if you set one a week, and then you can increase from there, because that feeling of accomplishing a goal, and if you are a list lover, write that down, because there's anybody else out there love to write a list, because then you get to reward yourself with maybe a nice pen, and then you get to go ahead and you get to cross it off. And there's a wonderful feeling knowing I got that done. And a lot of the things that we do in business, like for websites and stuff like that, once you get it done, it's done. But it's just like getting motivated to get it done, right? Like putting your website into place or learning how to do a website or sending out an email or something like that. But once you do it, it's done. All right, next thing. You guys are going to love this one. Finding business buddies, business friends, all right, to surround yourself with. If you're not motivated, there might be people who you live with, but they don't have that feeling of business like you do. And that's why going to a place like this, where everybody who shows up, because this community is carved out for people who are growing their business. We're all here hip to hip, side to side, all showing up together. That's why it's important to show up in the comment section and make friends, because when you're having a bad day and you feel like you're lesser than, or you're feeling like you just can't get motivated to do something, you can send somebody a message, and you can reach out for help. It's okay to ask for help, and you can be here. You can show up, and you can put right now in the comment section, guys, I'm really struggling with X, Y, Z. And I don't mean to say it as like showing up being negative, because this is a positive place, right? And we keep it positive in here. So if you show up and you, seriously have one thing that you're struggling with, and you came here in any morning and you said, hey girls, hey guys, I'm struggling with this part. I don't know where this is. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to figure out my elevator speech. Can you help me? Somebody's probably going to say, well, what is it that you do? Right? Let me help you through it. So if you can find a place to go with other like-minded people, keeping it real, telling you that there are days that you're going to lack motivation and you're totally, totally normal. That's nothing wrong with you. Everybody's not go, go, go all the time. Sometimes you got to work yourself into it, letting you know that, yeah, that is completely normal. All right. So sometimes having a place like that versus feeling alone and not having nowhere to show up and no business buddies, because not everybody in your life gets it, can be very, very lonely, right? So surround yourself with people that keep you reaching higher, even on the days that you don't even want to lift your arm. Next one. Take a break. And you're like, what? I need motivation. And you're telling me to take a break. I'm telling you to take a break. You know why? You come back rekindled. You come back stronger. And I know this to be true, because if you ever taken vacation, all right, at a job, and remember, a job, you're showing up 40 hours a week for a full-time job, right? And are you showing up every day for work because you positively love to want to go to work? No, there's days in real life jobs, okay? The jobs that are outside of the creative universe here, the creative entrepreneurship, the regular jobs, okay? Just the mainstream jobs. You got to go to work whether you feel good or not, right? You just got to show up, because that business must go on and you must show up. So why would you think it's any different when you have your own business? You're going to have days that you wake up and you don't feel good. That's okay. You're just building your own dream, and you still show up anyhow, right? But think about times that you've taken vacation from a regular job, and maybe you've had, 10 days off, 7 days off, 5 days off, I don't know. And then you get into that routine, and then you're home. Maybe you went on a day excursion or a little vacation, and you come back home, and by the end of it, you're like, oh, I can't wait to go back to work tomorrow. Do you know what I'm talking about? I mean, I'm serious, because you feel like you missed that structure, that routine, because you took yourself away from that for a bit, and you actually go back feeling invigorated, like you really needed that mental break. The day before you took vacation, you were in a bad way, like you were in a bad mood. You didn't care if you saw this place. I know, I've been there. Anymore, like seriously, I am so out of here. Don't contact me, don't call me, don't email me. Like, you're leaving your coworkers on their own. And then, you know what, a week or two passes, you go off, you do your own thing, you come back. All of a sudden, you know what, your hair might be done, but when you left, you're frazzled. You come back to work after a little space, a little break, a little time to resituate yourself. And you're like, okay, I'm going to start every morning now, and I'm going to make sure I stay on top of this. I'm going to organize my papers. I'm going to feel like I stay on top of everything, right? You guys know that. Have you ever experienced that? I know you have, and I am not the only one. So you guys tell me, when you take a break and you refuel, even using that as an example, you do feel better when you come back, right? Next thing, do something not money related for your business. And you're like, what? We're building a business, Sonia, not a hobby. Yeah, but you're doing something that you're passionate about, remember, And great businesses start off first as hobbies that you just love, 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 and you're good at it, right? And so when you get into a business grind, what can happen is all of a sudden your mind switches over, I'm doing this for money, right? But that's not where the happiness and the motivation comes from. It comes from doing what you actually love. So, you know what? Sometimes you just need to take a break and go, every time I do this, I'm not going to paint it in front of the camera and feel like I have to be on for my business because you know what? I started this with love in my eyes, doing what I love. Maybe I just need to do some projects where, you know what? I'm not taking questions. I'm just doing, it's just me and the project. And then I can have my music blaring in the background that I want to listen to. Because remember that when you're going live and things like that, you're not able to stream mainstream music. You have to make sure that you're able to get access to music that you won't get a copyright strike on. A lot of people don't realize that. So make sure you don't do that to yourself, right? Because you don't have the right to rebroadcast it from another musician because that is their work, right? So maybe you need to not go live, turn up the jam, whatever it is, you know, Pink, Lady Gaga, Roxette, Cher, whatever, fill in what's your favorite artist that you love to listen to. It just gets you going because music gets me going. I love it. Love music. So do something that is just, you're not on, right? Just go back to the basic roots of you're here to create, sister. Like that is what you started with. So why do you always have to be on? Don't forget to nurture and just do the projects that you want to do for yourself as well. Sandy says, I'm at the stage of my life, it's about sharing and giving back. Yes. And you know what? When you go through life and you don't even think about money, like I said, you get taken care of. Like it always, somehow you always get taken care of. But it's, you know, but if you lead with, I'm here to serve other people. I'm here to help other people. The things that people will do for you, you will be fully rewarded. It's amazing when you have that mindset. Catherine says Van Morrison and paint and coffee. I like it. So yeah, do something that's not money related. Just do something for you that fills your happy bucket. You know how I always in my vlogs, do something that floats your boat, that just, you know, fills your happy bucket. Do something that you positively love to do and brings a smile to your face, all right? Because when you're happier, then you're more likely to work on your business, right? Because never forget to take care of yourself. Because how can you take care of everybody else if you don't take time to take care of yourself, right? Yeah, you can't pour, what's that saying? You can't pour from an empty cup. And your people around you feel it. This is good advice for whether you're in business or in not. Take time to do stuff that refuels you because the people around you will appreciate you'll be a better person for it. You know, your patience won't be as thin. There's, you know, friction might not be there as much because you know what, you're taking care of you. And happiness truly does come from within, right? The whole thing of putting your happiness key in somebody else's pocket. Nobody else can make you feel any way other than you want to feel. You're in total control. And when you take care of yourself, then that shows, right? When you take care of yourself and you have confidence in yourself, regardless of what anybody says to you, you just show up with this confidence that, you know what, it doesn't make a difference. I'm going to still continue to do what I love. I'm going to continue to broadcast what I love to do, right? And so it's an amazing thing when you tap into your own self-worth, when you take time for yourself. Today is Sunday. So, you know, if this week you haven't been taking time for yourself every single day, one of the things that I shared that I have started to love to do was take the time to read books because I go through periods of where I get so busy that I like step away from my books. And now I love it. Every day I incorporate my reading. And you know where specifically, this is my gift to me. I will go in and I will fill up the bathtub. I bought myself a pillow for $5.99, a memory foam sticky on pillow that goes on the back of the tub. I will sit there and I will read my book. And I'm going to tell you that heat feels so good to my bones. And this big old house can be like a little chilly on the outside and there's steam coming out of the water. And I am into my book and I will like, that is what I look forward to. That doesn't cost a lot of money. Putting water in the tub, pillow is optional, but I'm telling you, it is world changing when you get yourself a bathroom pillow for $5.99. I've never tried one until recently in the last 2 weeks. And get yourself a good book. And read a book if you want that can be like completely fiction or nonfiction, but just something. Take your mind and give yourself even like a mental space break off of work. Because sometimes when you try too hard, it's like you just step away. And then you will have the best ideas because you gave yourself space. You gave yourself your brain some space. Some of us are out there and we're like an engine, like, come on, come up with an idea. Come up with an idea. You know, how can I make money? your best ideas will come when you just take a break. Ever have great ideas come to you when you're in the shower? Or sometimes when you're driving and your brain will just all of a sudden serve up an idea, right? You're doing something that you're on autopilot and you're not trying so hard, and then you have an idea that surfaces. Well, if you're trying too hard to come up with something, take a break for yourself, right? Take that space break that we talked about, do something that's non-money related, and do something for you personally. So what can you do for yourself today? Like for you, would it be sitting in the living room, feet up with just a really nice fuzzy blanket and your pen and your paper, and just write down your goals for I wouldn't even say for 2020, but just write down your goal for this week. Start off like not even a big mountain, but start off what's something that you want to do this week. Do you want to get up earlier? Do you want to every single day work on part of a project? Or this week I want to have at least 3 pieces of furniture painted, or fill in the blank, whatever it is. So that way I have 3 things that I can sell by the end of the week. And then reverse engineer. That means going backwards and going, okay, in order to paint 3 pieces, what's my schedule going to look like this week? When I come home from my regular job, that means how many hours do I have to spend in the garage? Or do I just devote an hour? How fast can I work? And this is the difference too. There's quality and there's quantity of work. But when you show up with quality, meaning that you're not really kind of halfway doing it, because if you're halfway doing it and you're supposedly working on your business, there could be people in your life that go, you keep working on this business, but you're not doing anything, right? And you're going to get greater support when they actually see you moving and shaking, and they can see the wins that you're having as well. So, when you're all in on your business, go all in on your business. Work at it just like you would, like I said, a 40-hour job for somebody else. And if you're working 40 hours, you're going to definitely move your business faster than if you're working half of that. Your business is still going, and everybody's got to work at their own pace, right? Because everybody's in different seasons of their life. Somebody wants to work full time. Somebody's doing this part-time, retiree, is doing this outside of a main job that they don't want to give up, all that sort of stuff, right? Your why. Personal timeout. Debbie, I'm putting you in a timeout today, my friend. All the time in the shower, so many plans. Yeah, it's almost like you don't have to, it comes to you, but when you try too hard, it gets really frustrating, it gets exhausting, and you get a mental fog. So that's why it's important to take a break, just a mental break, and just come back, recharged. And the last thing, I think this is number 11 here that I've listed. I'll go through them again real quick in a second. And if you're joining us, we're doing 10 ways, it might be 11 here because I might have got carried away and wrote down one more, ways to motivate yourself when you just feel stuck and you don't feel motivated. So change of scenery. All right. This is a big one for me. If I am looking for some motivation, if it's in the paint world, and even if I don't have motivation, like what colors am I going to use? I'm telling you, take a walk and look at Mother Nature, the scenery that's out there, an old rust bucket of a car. Take a look and look bigger, like really soak in what's around you. Sometimes we get in these modes where we just we're so focused, we're not even taking the time to seriously sit down and actually look at the room that you're in. Look bigger and suck in the moment that you're in, because that can be motivation. Take a walk, go outside if you can, don't slip, and look at just the colors that are around you right now, right? All that stuff can lead to you having motivation. I'm going to add some sparkles. I love blue. I love gray. I love that stump. Do you see that? It looks like, I love you more, with some candy bar brown and maybe a little brown glaze. I'm telling you, when you get out and you change your surroundings, it makes your brain waves think different, and you can come back recharged and re-energized and make you feel like going at something totally different. You can also have epiphanies, where you're working on something and you are totally stuck, and you walk away and you come back, and all of a sudden you're you look at it with fresh eyes and go, no, I went down a rabbit hole with that, and I'm going to change this up completely, right? Because you feel refreshed. Jan says, I've been writing all the ideas I have for lives. Good for you. After my craft studio gets finished. Absolutely. So, I write down at the end of each live the questions you guys ask me, because we got 365 days. This is day 19, and we're covering it all. So yes, have a list, because that's one less thing that you have to remember. If you can write things down, if you find business hard, do you feel yourself as always reaching for stuff? You don't remember stuff all the time. Write stuff down and make it easier for yourself, because you're using up your energy for good or you're just using up your energy for no reason. And so, if you're always going, what's my password? I can't remember my password. How does this work? I can't remember how this works. That's time. I got to ask somebody. I got to ask them how that works. Just whatever you learn, take time to write it down, create a book for yourself. And then when you need something, look it up and it's right there. If you take the time just to do that, right? And get ahead of it. So, because that takes energy. So if there's stuff that you're always forgetting, that's a great way, because you feel like I got to dig up that information again. Oh my gosh, because I got to, remind myself how I did that again, because I put it off for a while and now I'm procrastinating and I have no motivation to go back at it again and look it all up. Well, you know what? Do yourself a favor and write it down as you go. So that way, and you can grab it. All right. And there's less thinking that you got to do. Diane says her time is feeding her chickens. Oh, that is so awesome. That is awesome. I saw something this week. Oh, I got to try it today. That back on the island where I'm from in Newfoundland, somebody has set up, I've never heard of this. You tell me if you've heard of this. Maybe it's an old iPhone or something, or some sort of phone, okay, that accepts, it must be an iPhone because it's FaceTime, and which is the video conference call. Somebody put in with their chicken coop there, you can, through FaceTime, you can punch in an email and it can go to that phone, right? A broadcast. And they have it triggered so that the chickens are in the cage and that anybody, I'm going to have to dig it up. And if you want it, I'll share it with you, because I'm going to test it out on this Sunday. Some chickens out there need some love. That if I punch in this email, the phone that is attached to the chicken cage, and there's a bunch of them, they got all these, like, Agnes and I don't know, all these different names for the chickens. They all know their names. And it will turn on automatically into their big old, chicken cage mansion. And it'll come on and you can actually talk to the chickens. Okay. Back where I'm from in Newfoundland, up in Canada. And I thought that is so brilliant. And so the chickens, you can only call them. The phone will only be activated so you can reach them within a certain amount of hours of the day, because the other hours, they're getting their beauty sleep, but it will trigger to automatically accept. So what will happen is kids are calling chickens from all over the place, and the chickens, you call their name, will hear you, will come up and talk to you, interact with you, and you can give them some daily interaction. And I'm like, that is brilliant. So I'm going to talk to some chickens today. Tune in tomorrow. I will let you know how it goes. Yeah, they're probably frozen chickens. No, man, trust me, I think they're living in a glorious palace because they got an iPhone. They're taken care of. Judy says, never heard of that. Never. I never either. All right. So real quick, a recap for you guys, okay? To get motivated. Are you saying yes to too much? All right. So what is the actual cause of your motivation? Fix that in order to get motivation. If you're, sleeping in too much, if you're staying up too late, if you're taking on more than you can handle, what can you fix in your life? Are you stuck to Netflix? Do you need to tell yourself that when you come home from your daily job that you're not going to turn it on until you get something done for your business? All right. Get motivated in your business by taking out the other things that are affecting your motivation like that. All right. Just get moving and just start, because objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Reward yourself. Something that makes you happy. Know that you do the work and you do the real work, not halfway doing the work, but really set a reward for yourself when you do something that's really hard for yourself in business. And when you conquer it, do something for a treat to yourself, because you deserve it. Okay. And keep yourself motivated that way. Reflect on why you started your business. When you're having a bad day, you don't want to get off the couch and you don't want to do what you got to do that keeps your business going. At the end of the day, ask yourself, do I want this business to work? Because it's me. I am the leader and I got to show up every single day. And if I don't, it doesn't go on. My business is not going to go where I want it to go. And gosh darn it, I got wise and I want to change my life in 2020. And I want to end up this year different than where I am right now. All right. Set small bite-sized goals. Great way to feel good about accomplishing goals is to set small ones, not big ones, not big giant ones that overwhelm you, that require multiple goals within it to actually achieve it. I'm talking small goals that you can set for yourself this week. Maybe your goal this week is to dedicate an hour every single day to your business. Next one, find business friends to surround yourself with, because sometimes when you can't pick yourself up and you're just feeling at a low point, when you make friends and you take the time to make connections in the comment section today, when you start talking back and you see familiar faces, and we're a community here. right? We show up every single day. There's familiar faces. There's always people joining us, things that we can learn from. Somebody else is doing something, and you know what? You'll learn from them, a takeaway from them. We're all helping each other. Show up. If you ever need motivation, know that you're not the only one, that we all have days like this. We're normal. And if you surround yourself with people who are doing the same things as you, they will be able to tell you that and remind you that you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And I am here to pick you up. And here is a positive word. And, let me help hold you accountable in a very loving way, right? Next thing, take a break, refuel. All right. Like a vacation that you take from a regular job. Your business is your job. Okay, let's say it again. Your business is your job, all right? Just like you show up for any other job, all right? And you're hoping for promotions and you're hoping for pay raises. The beautiful thing about when you have your own business is you actually, how much your pay raises depends on how much you put into it and how hard you work, right? Not being a victim, not being the victim mentality, woe is me. Rather, you know that business is hard. You start off in business from that point of view, and that's why not everybody is in business, right? You know that you are going to make it happen. And you show up and you put the work into your business. Sometimes taking a break and refueling can help you come back when you feel like you've reached that burnout point. You just have no motivation, right? You're burnout. You have no more ideas, and you're just unhappy. You're bitter. You just got yourself in a place where you need to rejuvenate yourself, right? So take a mental break for a day. Take it for a day. Take it for a couple days. Have you ever heard about somebody that says, I'm putting myself off social media for a couple days? Yeah, do it. Totally you. We're going to be there when you come back, and you're going to survive. And at the end of the day, the world will go on. And when you come back, the world will be a better place because you'll come back refreshed and better able to serve your audience with fresh ideas and just positivity and energy. Do something not money related for yourself. All right. It doesn't have to always be about business. You can go really sour, really bitter in business when you don't refuel yourself as well, right? So if you're always money, is that Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob? Yeah, don't be that way, all right? Show up every day going, how can I serve my audience, okay? Remember that business is what you can do for somebody else, right, to make their life better. And don't forget to do something for yourself, because you started in business doing something that you love. And you've gotten down this money rabbit hole of where you're focused on is just the monetary goals. But there are bigger goals than that, right? Remember that you started this because you have the love inside for something. Go back to doing the love inside for something without turning the camera on, without monetizing it or making a production out of it. You don't have to turn on Facebook Live. You can still do what you love to do and do it on your own terms, and turn up the music and put on the coffee, drink the wine, do what you got to do. Invite a few friends over to help work on a project with you. And the last thing, a change of scenery, because when you see, you see the world through different eyes, right? When you put new things in front of you. So if you're stuck and you can't come out of if you're looking for design ideas, if you want to just feel refreshed, look up at the sky. Look up at the sky. When was the last time that you looked up and you saw the beautiful sky? I mean, oh my gosh, just the beautiful creativity and inspiration that Mother Nature offers up in any given season. So get off those glasses that you have on, the business glasses, and look outside the box that you put yourself in, because it's very refreshing and it can be a great source of inspiration and ideas. All right. So go for a walk today if you need to go for a walk. Brittany says, doing lives and seeing your names makes me all feel warm and fuzzy. Yes, it does. When you realize that people are with you and not against you, and there are good people in this world, and they will show up to support you together. You'll go on to do great things together. Yes. Billy says she's been writing it down, but don't remember where it is. So I just had a great idea. I'm going to put it in a card file. When you put things in a safe place and you don't remember where that safe place was, totally normal. We've all done that as well. Yes, absolutely. Go get yourself a business box, or go get yourself one of those, they're called crates, right? You know what I'm talking about? The crates that you can get, locker crates, things like that. You can get little square storage files at the Dollar Tree. Just get one wide enough that you can put a file folder down into, right? Or, some sort of thing that you can drop something down into. It's funny that we're talking about this, because one of the things that I love to reuse is those old magazine racks when I'm out junking and thrifting. And I have one, I was just thinking this morning, into the garage that I picked up, and I have not yet painted. But I love to take the old magazine racks, put them in a really pretty color, and then just use that because you can use thrift store finds, right, too. Oh, you are so welcome. You are so welcome. Chris says, here's my motivation. Can you please visit our page and consider it a before? That will make us work on it. That's what our page is. It's called It's All Relative. Be sure to drop your business pages in here in the morning so we can all go follow each other. And yes, remember, it is all progress over perfection. We all start somewhere. We all start at the beginning. Appreciate your humble beginnings. One thing that I used to do when I did my paid coaching is that I would let people submit their pages, and then I would use them as examples and go in and actually do coaching with them live in front of a group and go, okay, all right, let's do this here. How about if you said this instead of this, the link here, words here, change that out. And so if you would like to see me do some of those in here, let me know, because I'm sure we can make arrangements to do that as we get going. So we are 19 days in. So I hope if I went to your page right now, I'm giving you 19 days already. So would I see 19 days of goodness on your pages? By the time we do that, look really good. So by the time I pull your page up, you'll be like, I've been working on this, okay, for 30 days straight. Change the scenery. Yep, take a walk. You do get ideas. Set small goals. Oh, thank you, Michelle, for writing that out. I appreciate you for doing that. You are so welcome. So what are you guys going to do today? What are you guys getting into today? Yes, paint it, Billy. Keep it. You don't have to donate it. If you already have it, you don't have to pay for it or something. It makes it pretty, makes your space yours. And for me, I enjoy just a nice space to work in. Sometimes it gets a little messy and then I got to like rein it in. But you go through periods of your business where you're busy and it's more important to take care of your customers than taking care of your filing. You can catch up on that later, right? So it's all a balance. Even there's dishes in the sink. There's days there's dishes in the sink, and then I'm like, okay. Yesterday, I think you heard me say, I got to go do some dishes, all right? So, and got that done. Now I'm on the other side of it again. And then you set a goal for yourself. I'm going to make sure I wash my dish every single day and put it into the dishwasher. Small goals for yourself that add up to big leaps. Chris, going to take my golden for a walk. Oh, beautiful. Cleaning and restocking your booth. You love a clean booth. Absolutely. What do people say, right? You only have a few seconds to make a first impression. That's very important. Prepping a piece. Nice. Debbie says, making a wreath for my business and painting something new for me. Ooh, that's exciting. Going to church, taking a little bit for yourself tonight. Very nice. Scheduling some posts. Oh, that's a good one. We should talk about scheduling posts as well. Look at that. Picking up furniture, clients dropping off furniture. Yeah, because remember, for a lot of people that the weekends are the only days that they have a chance to do the extra stuff that they want to do when they're not stuck at, an office 9 to 5 in those weekday business hours. So I remember that when I was doing custom furniture, Saturdays and Sundays were big days for drop off and pick up. Working on a mantle, organizing my space. Yeah. That's what I do as well, Lisa, on days like today, because I think I've shared before that for me, it gives me a sense of relief when I'm on a Sunday and there's no packing and shipping, right? So nobody has any expectations that their Junk Monkey Happy Mail is doing anything today. And for me, I like this day. Today feels like a peaceful day to me. And I can focus on other stuff, like getting caught up in other things, right? And you'll learn to pace yourself in business, pace yourself with your business. And I've learned to get better at that as well. Not staying open on holidays just because I need to be open on holidays, but rather pacing yourself and realizing people are home by now. So you should be home by now too, right? And it takes a little bit to learn the ebbs and tides of your business because everybody's business is different. But learn to flow. When people need you, be there, right? Yeah. When your business is really jumping, that's when you make the hay. That's when you show up, right? When people are relaxing, they're enjoying the holidays with their family, they're not right now knocking on your door, then you know what? Why don't you take a break for yourself at those times and just learn to get in sync? Naomi's been organizing her studio. Oh man. And it feels so good, doesn't it? When you take the time to do it and you just get it done. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Just start organizing one small thing and it just continues to grow from there and you get it done. And then you start off on a Monday, nice and fresh for the week. Feels really good. that is something that you can give to yourself, organizing. Michelle's watching the birds and the trees. Beautiful. The simple things in life. It's the best. Brenda getting over foot surgery, ready to get painting again. Oh, Brenda's going to get lots of ideas. Get your notebook. You got it. And you can do all the things. Like you can be prepping your Facebook page right now, scheduling things, right? Like working out what I call the power source. Remember when we talked about the video games, the Super Mario game, and really powering your page up and, getting engagement. So when you're ready to post what you have for sale, you already have people and you've already broken through the Facebook algorithm. So you're not starting from scratch when you're ready to paint, right? You've already got it warmed up. Having breakfast, woohoo! And Jacqueline says having a great breakfast and then filling orders. I love that. Isn't that wonderful? It is. There's such a satisfaction that you get in business. And, you could say, oh my gosh, you got to work on a Sunday and fill orders. Somebody wants what you have. And you eventually can do your own, if you don't want to work on a Sunday, you don't have to work on a Sunday, right? It's to each their own. And you do business on your own terms and the way you want to do it. But yeah, there's much joy in thinking that, wow, I started something from scratch. Jacqueline's doing something and she's filling orders for customers that, believe in her, believe in what she's selling and are supporting her and, have found her and will go on to be continuing customers. That's a wonderful thing. So congratulations to you. Nice. All right. Well, it's about 9 o'clock, so I'm going to pop off of here. I have had my coffee and I'm going to relax a little bit today because it's Sunday. So you know what? Do what you got to do to replenish yourself. So tomorrow you can go back at it again, or maybe you want to get a head start on it today, right? You'll at the end of the day figure out what days are going to be your days where it's your lightest day, or you're not working today because that's your boundary, right? So totally up to you. See you, Jocelyn. Have a good one. I sounded like I was yelling at that. See you, girl. Have a great day. Have a great day. Yes. I'll be back tomorrow with some good information to help you continue to grow. So thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate, when I do these on a Sunday morning, I am prone to be up on a Sunday morning doing what I love to do, but it looks like a lot of you guys love it as well. So I'm so glad you guys are here live. And keep building up your Facebook pages and your social media. And as we can continue to grow, I look forward to helping you out by doing some one-on-one audits that we can all learn from, right? So work on your page. So by the time I get to the point where I do a call for pages that we can use as examples, then you'll be like, oh, pick me, because I've been working on it, all right? Hey, good morning, Linda. Good morning to you. Have a good one, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate your hearts. Yay. Good deal. And I'm glad you guys take the opportunity to connect with each other in here so you can go support each other on lives. And, if you are asking somebody to like your page, make sure you return that to somebody else and do the same to them. So when you're on live here, if you pick one or two people to go, okay, I'm going to go ahead and find you. You like me, I like you. And it just will help, right? It will help you get support. Your friends show up to help you on your lives, and it's nice to have a familiar face. We're all on the same team. All right, guys, make it a wonderful day. It's up to you. Bye.